Okay, I think the first business I was in was the bicycle business, and we started off with a retail store, and from there we went on to having a cross-Canada mail order service, and then we started building bicycle frames, so went into manufacturing. So that gave me quite a depth of experience because it was a small business that my partner and I started, and we kind of invented each step as we went along. And as somebody with an accounting background, I loved it. It was like having a model to play with. You know, I'd always worked for bigger companies where you're a very small cog in the wheel, and there I was like this person looking down and, you know, moving my chess pieces around. So it was a lot of fun, and of course I'm an avid cyclist, so that was very enjoyable for me as well. So from there I went on to owning a retail pet food store. I've been in the franchise interior decorating business, and this is my second public practice accounting, which I have now. That's what I've been doing for the last 15 years. And I have to say that all of those other experiences were important in how I am as an accountant relating to my clients and to my staff. I think it's made me different from somebody who's just always been on an accounting path where things are sometimes a little bit more black and white. I can remember being in the interior decorating business and dealing with a franchise owner, somebody who loved interior decorating and who was warm and kind, and she had a problem, and so I told her the solution, and she looked at me and said, "That was empathetic." Empathy? What does that mean? So I had to learn about empathy and about dealing with people who were really quite different from me. And it was an expensive experience, but it was, well, part of life's education. I think the main thing is, and this probably to some degree is still true, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. So I've had, you know, I mean, I think when you're out and about and doing things, there are always opportunities presented to you. And so when something interesting has come up, there have been times in my life when I have said, gee, I think I'd like to do that, and I've done it. And the thing I've learned from that is it really is better to stay with your strengths, which is why I'm back in accounting. I'm not a great person to just be behind a desk, but I've done accounting for so long that I'm good at it. And I've put together a team who are good at what they do. And so because I own my own business, to some degree I get to reinvent my life almost every day as to how I interact with my business, how I work with my staff, what direction we take. So I'm still always looking for something new and interesting, but within the confines of my business now, where we do accounting and income tax. Yeah, it is. And as a business owner, of course, you're not just dealing just with the accounting aspect and the client accounting. You really are. You have a business that has to be run. You have to think about all of the other things like, you know, marketing and administration and human resources and all of those things. So it keeps it fresh and interesting, I've found. And technology, of course. Technology keeps everything fresh because it changes minute by minute. I think going into the MBA, I didn't go to university when I was younger, and that was always something that was in the back of my mind. And I think I often did not feel competent or that I really should be where I was because I didn't go to university. And so when a friend of mine said one day, "We should get our MBA," I said, "Yeah, what a good idea." And so I immediately contacted Royal Roads, which I knew was a wonderful educational institution, and signed up. So it started off as a whim, but I don't think that there are any true whims. I mean, there's a lot going on in your head all the time, and sometimes it's just all of these things coming together, helping you to make that decision. When I was younger, I thought I would like to go to university and take a general arts program. But when I thought about the MBA, I realized that really general arts was not where I was at. I'm a business person, and I really did feel that the MBA would give me some valuable skills that would help me in my business. I think one of the main things is the fact that I'm more self-confident. I have accepted that I am a competent person who is able to do things and that I can go toe-to-toe with anybody. So it's been great from that point of view. Some of the specific skills, like change management, it was wonderful for me to be involved in learning more about that and seeing all of the case studies that we did about successful change and unsuccessful change in organization. It really made me realize that as somebody who loves change, that not everybody does, and that you can't just charge off in a direction and say, follow me. You have to look back and see if they in fact are following. So I've learned how to manage that differently. We don't change as frequently in our organization, and when we do, I start with a plan, I talk more to my staff about it, and we keep working at it until we've come to a successful conclusion. And that's something that did not happen before. So I got skills from the MBA, and I guess I just feel more like somebody who actually can command respect in my profession and in my community. I think that they are open to being mentored, and I think that we all, when you're actually working at something and you have somebody who is there to help and guide you, it helps you to have that time when things kind of go click, click, click and fit together. So I think I think that's just more of putting things together and seeing how things work and saying, oh, okay, I get it. So I guess you're right, aha moments. So I do see that in others. And I certainly see it in my staff when I'm working with them. So it's helped me to be a better team builder in my organization. I listen. I'm a much better listener than I was when I was younger. So I listen to what they have to say, and start to get a sense of kind of what their pain is, where they're sort of stuck on something. Because usually when you reach out for help, it's because you're stuck on something. And it's hard for me to say exactly how that synergy comes about, but somehow maybe it's just a small suggestion and then we enlarge on that and go from there. I do a lot of mentoring with my clients too, who are mostly small business owners, and so it's a little bit the same kind of thing. I let them talk until I see the important thread for them and where they need a little bit of direction and need to actually have their confidence bolstered that they can go ahead and get something done that they need to do. I think if you want to build confidence, that you have to be always willing to go out and face your fears and do it anyway. And as you overcome those fears and as you're effective in the thing that you didn't think you could do, gradually over time, that builds your confidence. So you can't just sit back and wish that you could be more confident. You have to work at it. You have to, it's like any other skill, practice, practice. Yeah, I think that we're not usually born being confident. You have to prove to yourself that you have ability, and that's what gives you confidence. And it's not always about being a success, because I have not been successful in everything that I have done. I have had my failures, and what they have taught me is that you can go out and you can try and you can succeed or you can fail, but nobody has died. So you just get up and go on. You certainly learn from your failures, sometimes more than you do from your successes. So you have to be willing to fail and give it your best.